we felt like the Giants were the joker team in that there were three teams at the front that needed quarterbacks, right? We all knew those three teams, Chicago, Washington, New England. And then we knew there was the second stretch of Minnesota, Denver, and the Raiders. And so, man, we kept, are the Giants going to take one? Because that then impacted how the last three were going to be. And so when they didn't, I think I said to George, I think we think Minnesota likes McCarthy. We don't know this. We think the Raiders like Penix, and we like Nix. Let's get on a conference call with all of them and say, just no one spend any money. We think we know this. And then Atlanta took Penix, and then now all of a sudden, we're paying attention to the team behind us, and it got a little crazy there for a minute.
That's Sean Payton talking about the quarterback process last night. I think they put out a little smokescreen on J.J. McCarthy. Peyton Manning talked earlier this week on one of the local radio stations in Denver how much the Broncos like McCarthy, and Sims and I were trying to go how many levels deep we could on what Peyton was trying to do. But they could have gone up to get McCarthy if they really wanted McCarthy. I think it was Nix all along. That's what Sims was saying. Nix was the perfect quarterback for Sean Payton to run the offense the way he wants. And you think about the fact that, and this is nothing against Russell Wilson, he just didn't fit with the way Sean Payton runs his offense. Yep. And so when you have a guy who is the complete non-fit for what you do, you're going to do everything you can to get the next guy who's going to come in and be that fit. And it was Nix. And, they were thinking, well, maybe they'd trade down and get him later, trade back into round one. They didn't want to play games there. Let's take him. Let's not screw around. Let's not lose him because we got cute. Let's just call the ball. Let's submit the pick, and let's get it done.
Yeah, Coach Dungy, a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about the draft, and he said that's the key. He said they knew one year that they wanted Bob Sanders, and they were able to trade back a little bit, and he wanted to trade back again, and Bill Polian was like, go sit down. Like, this is the guy we want. Let's go get him. And because that's what it comes down to. No one ever looks back at a draft and says, man, that guy's a really good player, but it would have been way better if they drafted him in the beginning of the second round instead of midway through the first round. Like, no one cares about that if you get a Hall of Fame or you get a great quarterback to come in and quarterback your team. So I think, for Denver, you get a unique type of guy too, right? Bo Nix started for 3 years and then transferred and started for another 2 years. He started 5 years in college. I had to play, I had to redshirt. I didn't play every year that I was in school. So this guy plays every year. He's played a lot of different snaps. He's played in different systems. So you get a guy that is mature. He's had a lot of game reps. We just talked about reps. Yes, they're not in the NFL. Yes, he has things to work on. But you get a guy that, because of COVID, has played just a lot of football at a high level. And then I just read it, the guy's married, so he should come in there mature, ready to go. So I think for this Denver team, for what they had in the locker room, I got the opportunity to be around Jarrett Stidham from his time in New England. I think he's a great guy. He's a poised guy under pressure. I think he's going to do everything he can to go out there and compete against Bo Nix, but he's also going to be a good mentor to him. He's going to try to help him out. Stidham has been there. He's learned from Brian Hoyer, who Hoyer had got an opportunity to be around Brady. So he's heard a lot of the right things his whole career. So I think it's going to be a good fit for Bo Nix. And you can see his numbers there, just a progression. Like that's an NFL 5-year career where you play early, you get better, and then at the end, you're your best. So I know they're hoping that they can get a guy that can connect right away with Sean Payton, and they can go and run an offense to Sean Payton's liking and be productive that way.
And Devin, we showed the reaction of Bo Nix when he got the phone call. He had to be extremely relieved because, look, I know that, and every agent that represents these guys that are due to go in round one, trying to figure out where the floor is. And there was a thought Bo Nix is not going to be taken in round one at all. Now, as we got closer to the draft, yeah, he's going to be the guy that somebody swoops in and takes late in the round, most likely, worst case scenario, and then all of a sudden he goes 12th overall, higher than I think anybody thought he was going to go for the Broncos to stay put and not get cute. And, the Ravens got cute 6 years ago, middle of the round. Steve Bisciotti, take Lamar Jackson. They take Hayden Hurst. They say, we'll still get Lamar. and they come back and pick 32 and get Lamar Jackson. But if they had blown that, I mean, like Hayden Hurst is on 2-3 teams since then. You should have just gone ahead and taken Lamar Jackson in the middle of the round. Yeah, hey, you were able to have this big celebration when he was still there, but that's a hell of a game to play. And Sean Payton got burned 7 years ago in New Orleans when he was waiting for Patrick Mahomes to fall into his lap, and he got jumped by the Chiefs. That's why I'm saying if they would have wanted J.J. McCarthy, they would have moved up. If that was the guy Sean Payton wanted, he would have moved up because he'd already been burned by staying put. And he wasn't going to get burned by sliding and getting jumped by somebody for Bo Nix because everybody kind of thought, yeah, that's what the Broncos are going to do, but not at 12. So he had to do it. And if he works out, they'll never say, man, we could have traded back and picked up an extra fourth-round pick in 2025 if we had just done that. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.